We are starting now. No, it's not our lecture for today. We have other lecture. Let me fix this. No, it should be here. I think it should be here. So our lecture is going to be uh, second lecture. Name of this lecture is given, which is in front of you. Name is people as resource. About it in details, I will share information with you. And now I think we should start. Name is clear. Name of this lecture is crystal clear. Is that what people as resource? Here, let me explain something about it. About this. Here you can see what here you can see in name of this lecture. In the name of this lecture, let me change color of color. I think it should be so. This will be better now. I think it should be better. It should be better. So okay, this is color. I am fixing so that you cannot face. People as resource. One second. People as resource. Yes, this is the size and the color is this. Okay. Let me explain about it. Here people, we are going to talk about people. What is happening? People as resource. Here we will take what people. We will take people as a resource. Means people will be considered as a asset for a country. We will consider people as asset. This whole lecture is going to understand what is going to be people as asset, people as resource, not as liabilities. Okay, so did you understand? Next slide, core concept. Core concept. Core concept is that the chapter redefines a population not as a burden but as a productive asset. Now it is a book language. I know most of you didn't understand what is it trying to tell. Okay, I am here. This chapter that we are going to explore, this chapter will redefine population. Okay, it will tell you definition of a population, and if people is being considered as if people are being considered as asset, then what will be definition of a population of a country when a country will have a human capital when a country will have what people resource human capital you can say, then what will be definition of a population of that country? About it in details we will explore, and I think it will be interesting. So this one sentence is telling you we are going to explore human capital. If how can be how can be considered a country as a human capital based on population. Am I saying? Look, a country will have what population from population. A country can be considered as people as a resource, as a people as a liability, people as a resource, as a asset, people as a liabilities. So from population of a country can be considered, and this is what you are going to observe in this lecture. So here it will this lecture will show you population not as a burden but as a asset. If people will be considered as an asset, then of course it is going to be productivity for a country, a form of human capital. Okay, clear. It emphasizes how education, health, and skill development transform people into economic contributors. Here, human capital, a population of a country will show what is the situation of a health, what is the situation of education, a skill, all this about this a population can show a data of this, and from that data government of any country can observe what is the situation of this particular country from the data. Okay, so here uh, this next is showing that uh, our focus full entire focus will be on here education, health, and skill development. Means when a person will have all this, then that person can be converted into economic contributors. That person will be useful for a economy of a country. When a random person will have all this, that's the say. So human capital is human resource are both same. If not, then what is the difference? If not, then what is the difference? I would say both are a difference. But link of first is with human resource, link of this is with this, link of this connection of this is with this. Okay, you will understand. To be human capital we need human resource. To be human capital, a person need what? A person needs human resources. First of all, a public should have human resource, then that public can be converted into human capital. So it will be possible when human resources are available in a particular area, in a country you can say, then that population of that country will be what? Human capital. Okay, so what's the difference? Human resource are resources which are consumed by public, which are consumed by by people. So human resources are resources. This will be resources, and these resources will be consumed by public. Why? Uh, uh, because because our government wants. On the other side, public also wants that we want to become human capital so that we can contribute to our country. Hmm? So here, let me complete a meaning of human resource. These are resource, and these resources will be considered, will be consumed by public. When public will consume these resources, then that public, after a certain time, that public will be what? Human capital. That public will become human capital. Clear? So it is a state. You can say human capital is a state. It is not a state. These are resources. Human resource that are for human. Now it is the exact meaning of this. Human resources that are for human. For example, education will be considered as for. So education is a resource for human. So there are some basic resources that will be important for a human, and those resources are what? Major resource. For example, uh, education, healthcare, a skill, clean water. All these are major resources. Apart from major resources, there are more more resources for women which will be important apart from major resources. Okay, so I told you major resources are what? Education, healthcare, uh, electricity, electricity, uh, a road, uh, better rural area. Now here, I as well as I told you, human capital is what? Is the state. I am not talking about Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Jharkhand, all this. No, I am not talking about this state. State being state. Okay. So human capital is being state. When people will become, when person will become human capital, then that person will be what? Will be ready for contributing to country, to economy. Clear? Now a person, when a person is a person consumed what? Human resource. So now this person became human capital. Now if this person will become human capital, it will be asset for a country. Okay. uh, in other word you can say person is what? Person is working to develop their country, to develop a country. So that is how a country develops by human. When human will be human capital. That is how. Before a person became human capital, first step is to provide which are which is human resource. First, a normal person will will have to consume human resource. Then that person will become human capital. That person will be asset. Now, human resource, the population of a country. Okay, human capital. Human capital, the productive skills, knowledge, and health possessed by people. Yeah, a people is a human capital. It means a country has a productivity. Okay, a person has a productive skills. That person can create anything that he want to create because he has knowledge, he has information, he can gain information. Okay. Now next is investment in human capital. Investment in human capital. Yes, these are resources which are considered as a human resource. So these are resources for human, and you can say these are investment when when investment of human resource will be invested will be invested in human in public, then that public will be human capital. So these are resources which are measured. Okay, else economy returns. So after providing these skills by government and public is consuming these human resources, then after certain time that public will be useful for a country, that public will develop their own country. So this pattern is telling you after consuming all these resources by public, that public will provide what benefit for a country. So after investing these resources in uh, human, that human will be useful. That's why this investment is being uh, is being invested in human so that public can become human capital. Clear? Next slide. Next slide is what economic activities. This part is also very important for this lecture as well as for the country, for any country. From this economic activities, we will understand what market activities, non-market activities. What are economic activities? So here, let's start. Economic activities. We are observing what activities. It means experiments. By doing activities, what can be done? What will happen by doing activities? This is what we will observe. So there are many activities which are happening in a particular country. If you go in your market, then you will observe that there are a lot of things that are being done as an activity, so that contribute to national income. Yes, any person, any person is doing activities, it means that activities can can provide what income to national, to nation. How? I am giving information, I am sharing information with you, so it is also activities, it will be considered as activity. It is experiment. Okay, by doing activities you will gain what? You will gain information. By doing these activities I am gaining what? Depth information related to this. But here I am not what? I am not getting income. I am not earning money by doing these activities. Clear? So by doing activities, money can be earned. Then that activities will be useful for a country. Money what will come? Are you understanding? There are some activities which are giving money, which are generating money. So by activities can be generated with money. But on the other side there are some activities, by those activities are not being generated money, cannot be generated money. So those activities will be considered as something else, something else. And hold on, let me tell you about this. So economic activities that contribute to national income. First is the primary sector. We have three sectors. First is the primary sector, second is the secondary, third is the tertiary sector. So from primary you have to understand this is the first. Secondary, here you can see second. It means this is the second. This is the second. It comes in second. This is the third. Okay, tertiary, third. So let's understand primary sector. Try to explain. You consider yourself as if you don't know about it. Okay, for few minutes you consider to yourself as if like you don't know about it. Why? Why should you consider to yourself as like you don't know about it? Because you will you will understand it heartily, from heart. Okay, so primary sector is a sector, it is a, what you can say, it is a factory. It is factory. But this is not big, this is not a small factory. It will be big factory. Okay, and in that factory will be will be doing what? Agriculture, will be doing what? Fishing, will be doing what? Forestry. All this will happen in primary sector. And here because of this is what? First sector. This is first sector. So of course, first of all we need what? We need a resource, natural resources. I am not saying human resource, natural resource except natural resource, except human resource. Human human, you can say only human. So we are at first level, so of course we need a raw material. Am I correct? We need a raw material. You can understand it by an example. You want to cook food, you want to make vegetable. So how will it happen? First step is to purchase vegetables. First step is to have vegetables. Now you have vegetables, you will make what? You will cook vegetable. Of course. So first step was to purchase vegetables. In first step we should have had what? Vegetable. Then we can cook, we can make a vegetable. Same here, we are at first level. At first level we need what? Raw materials, basic needs. Okay, raw material uh, or natural material which will be available in nature. And now once you will have natural resource, what will you do with the natural resource? What will you do with the natural resource once you have all these resources? So these resources will be brought in secondary sector. This is also sector, but in this sector will happen something else. In this sector, nature resource will be brought in this sector. And now question is why nature resource will be brought in this in secondary sector? Because of reason is very simple. You can interact with this reason. Nature resource we will bring in this secondary sector so that we can produce something else product. Okay. For example, one I have what? Weight. Second, I have something else. And when a person will use these two three materials together, then that person will make a product which will be something else. So here whatever we want to create a product will happen in secondary sector. So secondary sector product will be created by natural resources. So product will be produced in secondary sector. It will be possible when secondary sector will have natural resources. Natural resources. So natural resources will be acquired from where? From primary sector. Clear? Work of primary sector is something else. Work of secondary sector will be something else. Clear? Now, what if would I like to say that people which are in primary sector will be same in secondary sector? No, that is what I am not telling you. I am not trying to tell you. I would say in primary sector could be people could be, in primary sector uh, would be people would be different people. In secondary sector would be different people as compared to this. Clear? Uh, so remember, in secondary sector, product will be produced by raw materials. In tertiary sector, this is also sector. It will be invisible. you will observe that tertiary sector is invisible. Why? Because it only provides what service. It doesn't produce a product, any kind of a product. That's why it is what invisible, because it doesn't tertiary sector doesn't produce a product. That's why. Are you understanding? Yeah, you are correct. uh, okay, let me ask one question. What does a secondary sector produce a product? Answer would be yes. Work of a secondary sector is to produce product, is to create product. Now, ano- other question. Other question. Other question is: does primary sector produce product? So answer would be no. It is a natural. Primary sector will have natural materials. It is not producing. Okay, it is not producing, I would say. Otherwise, you can say natural resources are being produced by nature. This will be better to say. And if we are saying that natural resources are being provided by nature, so in other word, we are trying to say that we are not producing mm, natural materials. We are not producing. Rather, nature is producing. Clear? We are not producing natural materials. Yes, yes. Then tell us where are we producing product? So answer would be in secondary sector. In secondary sector, all control will have people will have all controls in secondary sector, but in primary sector people will not have control. Nature will have control. Okay, nature will have control to produce natural material, but in secondary sector people will have control to produce a product. Whatever people of secondary sector want to produce a product, so control of this people will have control of this. And here tertiary sector, it is also considered as a service sector because it only provides a service. That's why. And the secondary sector only provides what products. It creates a product. It produce product. But tertiary sector doesn't produce product. It will provide service. By providing service, this tertiary sector will be selling products. Okay, I'm saying what tertiary sector will not be producing any kind of a product. Rather, it will be providing services. By providing services, yes, tertiary sector will be selling products, and that is what is the work of tertiary sector. Clear? This is the work of a tertiary sector. What is the work of a tertiary sector? Is to provide a service, and it is a providing service. Means by providing service, it is trying to sell what product, and from where product is coming. From where is product coming? So answer would be product is coming from secondary sector. As we saw, natural materials were coming from primary sector in secondary sector, so that people can produce can produce products. So from where natural materials were coming in secondary sector, so answer would be from primary sector. Now tertiary sector is selling products, so these is products which are being sold by a tertiary sector. So these products from where uh, uh, these products are coming to sell. So answer would be from secondary sector. From secondary sector, products are coming in tertiary sector, and people who are in tertiary sector will be selling products of a secondary sector. So people of a tertiary sector will go to secondary sector to deal what are rates of these products. So tertiary sector will deal, okay, with the products of a secondary sector. It is a other topic. Remember, secondary sector will be considered as, I think, manufactured. Okay, clear. It is enough, I think. So here you can see we have services like transport, banking, education. By here in a school, you can observe there are many teachers in a school. What do they do? They provide what services? Which kind of a services? They provide teaching services. So teaching is a service, banking is a service. There are a lot of government jobs which are service, which are considered as a service. Okay. Now here I am teaching you. I am giving information regarding this. So it is also service. Here somebody is a somebody will be providing service by selling products. By selling products. Clear? But here a teacher will not be providing teaching service by providing any kind of products. So there are some services in which can be considered that products are not being sold by some services. Yes, this can be observed. Even I have observed. Okay. Now let's understand next concept, which is a little concept, but it will make a sense for a country. Market activities, non-market activities. Here, market activities. So activities which are in market. This is the meaning of a market activity in our language. Okay, in our language, meaning of market activities should be what? Activities which are happening in market, which are in market. So our context is what? Economy. We are studying economic subject. So can we say that market which are economic activities, and isn't it? Let's expand meaning of this. Remember, any kind of activities are being done by people if those activities are generating what? Money. If any kind of activity is able to generate money, then we can say that activities is what is useful for a country. That activities will be considered as a economic contributor. Clear? Because of here you will hear what? Money word. I have explained just a few minutes ago what, by saying there are a lot of activities which are happening in a market, and in those activities can be divided into two parts. First, in first we in first activities are activities. There are some activities which are generating income, which are generating money. So these activities will be in one part. Okay. And in second part there are some apart accept this. So there are in second part there are some activities which are not generating money, which are not generating income. So you can see what's the difference between this. In this part there are some activities which are generating money, and in this part there are some activities which are not generating money. This is a difference, and from this difference you will understand which one is contributing economy, which one is useful, which one activities is useful, which one part is useful for a country, which one part is not useful a country, but a, a activities which is not useful for a country but it will be useful for people. It should happen. So let me clear you here. uh, some activities which are generating money, it will be economic contributor. It will be developing a country. Clear? You would say give us examples. Okay, example will clear you, will give you clarity. You can think of a teacher, and from an example of a teacher, this both activities, market and non-market activities, can be understood. How? Let me tell. A teacher which is teaching in a school. Okay, a teacher who is teaching in a school, in a school. Okay. Now, after teaching for few months, otherwise you can say after completing 1 month of teaching to a student, that teacher will be paid money for a month by that school, by that school, by headmaster of that school. Salary is paid after 1 month, isn't it? This is a salary. This is the meaning of a salary. A salary which is income is paid after 1 month. Now that teacher completed 1 month of teaching to a student in that school. Now headmaster will pay what money for a month to that teacher. Here what is happening? This pattern is telling you that this is a market activities which is developing a country, which is useful a country. Now you would say how? Explain. Uh, explain clearly. So okay, here teacher was teaching to their students. So this teaching a skill, this teaching is what? Service. So here teacher provided service to their student. So that's why that a teacher will be paid money, will be paid money. Now this was a service. Can we say this is activities? As we saw, economic activities. So that teacher provided a teaching skills, teaching service, which is activity, just a economic activity. Now it is happening in market of a country. It is happening in a market of a country. Now he will be when he will be paid money, then we can say that activities is market activities. That activities is market activities because of money is being paid to that teacher for providing teaching skills. That's why. So money is coming. Now, what about non-market activities? What about non-market activity? Here, this same example. From this same example, we can understand what uh, meaning of a non-market activity. A teacher, which is a teacher who is teaching in their house, in their house, and that teacher is teaching to their children. Okay, to their children. Service is the same, which is a teaching service. Service is the same. You have to observe what is the difference between this example which I am telling you and between this and that example which I have explained. So here a person which is teaching to their children in their home. Now after few months, can you say that children of that person will give what money? Can you expect? No, it will not happen. It should not happen. A teacher is teaching to their students. Will will their children uh, give money? Answer would be no. Why? It will not make sense. When children will provide money to their dad, then it will not make sense. In short, I am trying to tell you there are some activities which are consumed for self consumption, which are compulsory, which are compulsory. Clear? Now, if most of you, some of you didn't understand meaning of non-market activities, I have another example to understand it. Your father went to vegetable market. Your father wants to purchase vegetable for for house, for you, for eating, you can say, for eating purpose. Now your father went to where? Vegetable. He will purchase vegetable. Then will come a house. What will happen with those vegetables? Tell me. What will happen? Will you sell those vegetables or consume those vegetables? Tell me. What will you do? Control of those vegetables is in your family hand, in hand of your family. So what will happen with those vegetables? Answer would be there are two things which will happen, which is which can happen with that vegetable. First is what? Those vegetables can be sold, otherwise can be consumed. So we have two options. First is we can sell those those vegetables, otherwise we can consume. It will depend on you. But here your father purchased those vegetables to consume. Now these vegetables will be consumed by you. So what is happening? You will consume these vegetables. After eating these vegetables, you will not give money to someone else. Why will you give money to after eating vegetables? Of course no, you will not give. You will not give money. So that's why this was activities. This was also activities. What was activities? Your father purchased vegetables from a market, and then those vegetables came in your house. This is what? This is activities. Now, I will take this same example to explain market activity. Note this same example. If people uh, went not people, a person went to market, vegetable market, and he purchased what? A lot of vegetables. Now after purchasing a lot of vegetables, he came to his house. Now my question is, what will he do with those vegetables? Answer would come what? Answer will be, he purchased vegetables for selling. For selling. Purpose is to sell. He will, the person will sell what? Vegetables. Now, after selling vegetables, he will be paid money. This is also activities. But what is happening here? Money is coming. Money is coming. In first example, what was happening? Your father went to um, vegetable shop, and from that shop, your father came after purchasing vegetables, and you consumed those vegetables after cooking. You consumed, but here you will not uh, provide money. In second example, person went also where? Vegetable market, and he purchased a lot of vegetables, then came in village. In evening he will go to sell those vegetables, and after selling vegetables he will be paid money. He will have money because he sold vegetables. That's why. So this is also economic activities which is happening in market. He has what? Money. He generated what? Money. So that's why this example will be market activity, and first example was non-market activities. For sale conjunction, any activities which is happening for sale conjunction will be considered as a non-market activity. Any activities which is happening in a market uh, is generating what income will be considered as market activities. Both are useful. This market activities, non-market activities, both are useful. Use of this both are in other way, not a different way. Use of this will be something else, and use of this will be something else. Use of this is to consume for uh, this is a self consumption, and by doing this activities, money can be generated, which will be useful for a country. And on the other side, if money is being generated, it means income of a country is increasing. GDP is increasing. Non-market activities which is useful, but it will not develop a country, but it will still useful. for a country. Okay. Now next, gender and work. Gender and work. When it will come to gender, we will classify it in two parts. First will be male, second will be female. In this slide, our focus will be on women. Do you think are women paid money for providing service? Most of you would say yes. If a woman is providing woman is providing service, then of course that woman will be paid money. But there are some activities which are being done by women, but money is not. But those, but that woman, that woman is not getting money after providing service, and those services are done in house. That's why a woman does not get money, because of she is working in in her self house. That's why are you understanding? So woman will work, but in herself, in a woman is working, but that woman is working for self. That's why she will not be paid money. That's why my question is, okay, by doing this, if a woman is not getting money, so can a woman get money by doing something else, by providing something else service? Yes, it can happen. A woman can be paid money when woman will be providing service, but a woman will be providing a service for self consumption, then that woman will not be providing, will not be provided money, will not be paid money. Okay, clear? Woman unpaid domestic work is not counted in a national income. Yes, domestic work which are done which are done in a house, these are work which are in house, and all this work are done by women, but that woman does not get money for this. Why? Because of it is a self consumption. That's why this is a self consumption. Clear? On the other side, the same woman can do work something else if that service is valuable in market. If that service, that skill is generating money, is able to generate money, then we can say woman will be paid money, and then that woman will be asset for a country. Okay, that woman will be economic contributor. Gender disparity in education and employment opportunity persists. From the history, from the recent time, importance of women were not given equally as men were given as the importance of men were given in a recent time. So in a recent time, equality was not equal for a woman. This was happening in recent time. What I am trying to explain? I am trying to explain whatever are provided to men, the same things was not being provided to women, which was creating what inequality between women and men. This is what was happening in recent time. In recent time, for example, by government, whatever are provided by government were provided to only male, okay, not a female. So this pattern was creating inequality, but today nowadays it is happening less, okay, less. This is happening less. Both girl and boy, both are considered equally, both are treated equally nowadays. In nowadays, both are boys and girls, both are going to school to gain information, okay, clear. Whatever are resources which are available in a country are available for both, not for a particular section, clear. Whatever are provided by government will be for both, for both women and men, okay. Here discrimination will not happen, clear. As time was passing, this inequality was ending, okay, reducing, you can say. Next, educated women with her skills earn better. Yes, educated men with her skills can earn better. Both can earn better. But when it will come to having a skills, a person has a skills, a woman has a skills, both can earn better money. Okay, four condition, which will be important. Four condition I would not say. I would say any person should have four things at least. First, education or knowledge. Second, a skill. Third, being healthy. Okay, being healthy. So by having these things, anybody can earn money. Can earn money. Clear? Whether they are women, they are male, they are female, they are boy, they are girl, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. A woman has all these three things, that woman can generate money. Clear? So here, when a woman will earn better money with having skills, then that woman will be ready to consider as a economic contributor. Okay, in other words, we will be saying that yes, this woman is developing a country. It is among those people which are helping to a country to grow. Okay. Next slide. Education and health. Importance of this, let's see. Normally we know that what is the importance of education and health. Education will provide opportunity, a lot of opportunity. You will be able to create a lot of things by education. Health, by being healthy, you will be able to do a lot of works. Let's say you are not healthy, okay, you are not fit. What will happen? Then what will happen? Then okay, you have information, you have a lot of information, you are educated, but you are not healthy. You have information, you have ideas, but your body is not working. Your body is not working. So that's why combination of having a education, being healthy, having a skills will be mm, will be useful. Clear? One of them you don't have, then you will face some challenges. For example, you are not healthy, then what will be importance of education for you if you are not healthy? Are you understanding? Clear? Let's just say importance of education in this pillars of a human capital. Yes, these are three things: education, health, skills. These are pillars of a human capital. These are human resources which will be provided by government to public. Then public will be what? Public will be human capital. Clear? So first is education. Education will increase productivity. Yes, it happens. It is a true. It will also increase income. Yes, when a person will be increasing productivity, it means can that person can increase income and civic participation. Okay, so uh, by education, productivity can be increased. Education can increase income. Government incentives. By government introduced this scheme, Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan, Mid-Day Meal Scheme. These are schemes that were introduced by government, which are what valid right now. Okay, this scheme is promoting Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan is promoting education, and this scheme is promoting what healthy, is promoting what nutrition, you can say, food security. So midday meal scheme which promotes food security to children who are studying in government school from nursery to 8th to ninth class. Then those children will be provided this scheme. By providing this schemes, those children will be getting what food. And here, why are this being provided by government? Okay, why did this scheme introduce? Because of there are a lot of people who are in poverty, and this is useful for those, and this was introduced for those people. Children of parents, children's of parents are going to government school, then those children can take a benefit of this scheme. Okay, clear? So it is not available in a private school. This is available in a government school because this was introduced by government, not private. That's why. So purpose behind bringing this scheme was to promote what education, and purpose of bringing this scheme was to promote food security. Clear? Next is health. Let's see what is the importance of health. Being healthy is useless or useful. Usually we know that it is very useful. It is very useful. We are healthy, then we can see what do we feel when we are healthy. Then we feel what energetic. We do a lot of work. We have potential energy. We can do whatever we want. Okay. So here a healthy population is a more productivity. When it comes to population, if a population is healthy, then we can say that population is a productive. Public health infrastructure remains even across states. Yes, you know uh, significance of health. Unemployment in India. Unemployment in India. Here, unemployment, which means okay. Let me clear to you what will be exact meaning of unemployment. What will be exact meaning of unemployment? Look, what do you say that a person is uh, is not doing any kind of work, then that person is what unemployment. Would you say this? I would say this is not an exact definition of unemployment. Exact definition of unemployment would be what? Any person who is willing a job, okay, to earn money. So now that person is not getting job. What are you understanding? A person who is a willing job, and in that situation, in that time, that person is not getting job, then we can say that person is unemployment. That person is that person will be considered as unemployment. And now, uh, any person who has education qualification, who are educated, who are healthy, and now he he wants to learn. Okay, he wants to learn. He does not want to work. He wants to learn more. And age of age of him is 80 plus. Okay, plus 80. But he wants to learn. He does not want to work as an employer. So we would not say that this person is what, this person is unemployment. No, because this person is not willing a job. That's why this person is not willing job. Rather than considering this person as a unemployment, we will consider what it this person as a non-worker, as a non-worker, because this person does not want to work as a employer. That's why. Clear? So meaning of this is very simple. Any person, any student, any man is willing to work, to work, to find job, then that person is not getting job, we will consider that person as an unemployment. Now what about employment? Any person, same, any person, that person was willing job. Okay, now he got a job and he is doing uh, their job. He is doing himself job, him his job. Okay, so he was willing job, he got a job. So this is the definition of employment. He will be considered as employment. Now we have a different employment. One is seasonal, second is disguised, third is educated unemployment. Yes, let's start from seasonal unemployment. Let's start from seasonal unemployment. Look, season of something is there. Okay, let's say you can take an example of selling ice cream person. Selling ice cream person, a person is selling ice cream, and season of selling ice cream will be for few months, not for 12 months. It is a nature. In summer season, ice cream will be sold, isn't it? So this is a season of selling ice cream. So there are some certain things. There are some things which are done when season comes. When season comes. For example, for selling ice cream, season is what? Summer. Season is summer. When season will gone, then ice cream will not be. Nobody will nobody will be selling what? Ice cream. When once summer will gone then. So here, what I am trying to explain, let you can take this example to understand season unemployment. For few months, let's just say 3 4 months, summer came. Okay, summer came. Now person will be ready to sell ice cream. Now person is selling ice cream for 3 months. Now after once 3 months is completed, after 3 months that person will be unemployed because season has gone. Season has gone. That's why now he can do other work, but for selling the ice cream, he is not able to do that. That's why this type of a person will be considered as seasonal unemployment. It is a same common. It is the same in agriculture field. Work available in only certain season. It is a common. This is seasonal unemployment, which is common in agriculture. It can be seen in agriculture field. Disguised unemployment. You will realize what there are some people which are working as a hider. For example, in a factory, boss of that factory wants how much labor? For example, 10 labor. 10 labor is enough. 10 labor is enough. Now, boss of that country hired 10 people. Hired 10 people. Those 10 people will work in that company. Now, uh, two people more came in that country, but hired was not hired by boss of no, that company. Rather, these two people called by 10 people. Here, money will not be paid by boss to this two people, and these two people will be doing hiding in 10 people. So two people are unnecessary. So unnecessary people will come in a sector to do work because of they don't have work. That's why. So unnecessary people you will observe in disguised unemployment, educated people unemployment, qualified individuals unable to find jobs matching their skills. Yeah, it is very common which can be seen in our area. There are a lot of people who are in India country. For example, you can take a graduated student, a student who is graduated, who did graduation, okay, who has done graduation. Now he is willing what job. He found job, but based on their skill, he is not working. He didn't get work. He didn't get based on a skill, and he have to work. He has to work. So this is known as educated unemployment. It is a compulsion. He will have to work because of he don't have money to live to survive. That's why. So based on a skills, a person is not getting job, then that person will be considered as educated unemployment. Okay. Impact wastage of human potential increased dependency. Yes, impact of unemployment in a country will be what? Uh, human potential will be waste. Okay. Now next let's see. Practice question. What is meant by human capital? Human capital is what? Human resources are consumed by people, and those people will convert those people will become what? Human capital. This is the meaning of human capital. Clear? Now distinguished between market and non-market activities. Any activities which are happening in a market are generating money, so that activities is a market activities. Non-market. What about non-market activities? Non-market activities, it is not for market activities. Okay, any market activities which is not any activity which is not which is not for economic market, which is not a activities. For example, it will be self consumption. Any activities will be done for self consumption. These activities will not be generating money. That's why that's why it is not useful for developing a country, but it is still useful for people. How does education contribute to economic development? It education increase what? Increase productivity. It opens a lot of opportunity. Okay, it can increase income. That's why it is able to develop a economy. Why is investment in health considered as investment in human capital? Yes, when a person will be healthy, then person can think critically, that a person which is healthy will be able to do work in comfortable zone. Okay, so being healthy will be investment thing. So I think any person should invest what uh, resources related to being healthy. Okay, so it is considered as a investment. Health is considered as an investment because it gives you energy to you. You are able to be healthy because of you did investment. That's why. So it is done. So that's all. Mhm. uh, we are done.